Okay, this is an unboxing and part one of my new HiFi Walker H2 digital audio player, otherwise known as a DAP. So this is going to be the unboxing part. Just got this baby. So this has been around for a few years now, and I debated back and forth about whether or not I should get one, because I have a Samsung Z Flip 4 and I use a dongle DAC with that, and it sounds great, but uses a lot of battery power. So this seems like a great purchase for somebody who has a lot of audio files, which I do. I've got 80 gigabytes of FLAC files and MP3 files on my computer, so this is it. Now, this does all the things I wanted to do, does Bluetooth and all that, but I am not going to be using Bluetooth at all, because in my car I'm going to use a wired connection. My car has an aux input jack, and of course I have headphones. I've got Sennheiser HD 598 SEs that I'm sure this will power fine, and I've got a pair of Cos Port Pros, which are always my favorite go-to portable headphones. So this comes with depending on the package you get, it comes with different SD cards. So I think this one comes with a 32 gigabyte. Yeah, this is 32. Some packages come with a 64. There's even one package with a 128. But none of those cards are any good. They're all junk cards. So just throw those away. So instead, I got that. Samsung 256 gigabytes. Very fast. Should work great. So we're going to use that. And then right here, this was part of a bundle. For $6 more, you got this nifty HiFi Walker case. So there was $123 for the player, right there, still sealed. See that? All nice and sealed. It's original plastic. And better sound, better life, it says on the bottom. And made in China. So get it now before the tariffs make everything like this super duper expensive. So there it is. HiFiWalker.com. Now, the latest firmware on this puppy is 2.0, and I'm hoping mine has that, so we'll find out. So, come on. My phone timed out with my notes on it. And now it doesn't want to lock. Of course. Okay, there. Alright. So, there is an alternate firmware available for this from a company called Rockbox. Let's get this box out of there. Rockbox. So, I have used Rockbox in the past, and it was very, very interesting. I use it on a Sansa player, and it's a real pain to install it. So I'm certainly not going to install that on this player for at least a year, because if you still install a third-party firmware on your player, you're going to kill your warranty. And this has a 1-year warranty, so at least for a year I'm not going to do that. Plus, I've read that if you install Rockbox, you can't use Bluetooth at all, which I don't really plan to use, but there might come an occasion where I want to use the Bluetooth. So anyhow, from what I've seen, everybody using this player has no problem navigating it with the built-in firmware. And like I say, they supposedly have fixed all of the major flaws now with firmware 2.0. Started out with firmware 1.3, and then they had 1.5, then 1.7, then 1.8. And in fact, what's weird, if you go to their Facebook page, they still list 1.8 as the latest firmware that you can download. But if you go to the actual HiFi Walker page, The comment section say the latest firmware is 2.0. And this was as of this month, April 2025. So let's take a look at this case first. Let's do that first. So this company that makes this is a company called AIGO, A-I-G-O. And they make this same player under other brand names. So for instance, in other parts of the world, this player is known as the AIGO Eros Q or Eros K. And it's also known as the AGP Tech H3. And also, there's a very similar player called the Surfans F20, which uses the same firmware as this, basically. It's really just a hardware difference. The Surfans doesn't have a lanyard slot, and so the Surfans F20 is a very, very similar player. Although I've also read that some people say that the Surfans has a different DAC. So this has got the higher end Texas Instruments Burr Brown DACs, which are fantastic. And so I've used Burr Brown DACs for since the 80s. I remember Techniques had Burr Brown DACs in their CD players, and they were excellent. So anyhow, another reason I went with this player is the fact that I really like the tactile buttons. I don't want an Android machine. All the higher end players are Android, and I don't like that idea because Android's very fragmented. Some of them come with Android 11, 12, 13. They're all very fragmented, and basically what you get is an Android phone with a couple of better DACs in it. And I don't want all those distractions. I just want the player for music, and that's all. So a lot of people are having that same opinion that, your phone is enough of a distraction all the time. Sometimes you just want to set the phone aside and move on. So, all right, so let's take a look at the inside of this. It's got a carabiner right here. Hook it on your belt or whatever. That's nice. There's the zipper. So yeah, first, for the extra money, this was certainly worth the investment. Right here, you could probably use this on the actual player. This strap right here. I'm guessing that's why they had included this. But who knows? I think this would be really good on the player. Yeah. Okay, so you can put your extra SD cards in here. So like I've got the 256, Samsung, and that's going to hold, a whole lot of stuff. Because, like I say, I've got 80 right now, and that took me a long time to make 80 gigabytes of files. So let's open up the actual player now. Alright, so anything I need to know back here? Lithium-ion battery inside. Do not open the product. Do not expose to heat, water, moisture, direct sunlight. Excuse me. Yeah, there's some kind of warning about throwing away the battery. Manufacturer Shenzhen. Now the company is actually located in Beijing. So, like I say, they use a variety of different brand names around the different parts of the world. So, HiFi Walker, I think, is really just for the U.S., probably Canada too. So, glad to see this is a sealed unit. It's not been returned. Never know what you're going to get with Amazon. And this is a very tight box. It's going to take some effort to pull this apart. But that's good. That means they looked at the tolerances of this box and they went right to the limit. All right, there's the box. Very nice presentation. So very giftable, as some people say. Make a great gift. Nobody ever got me one of these as a gift, but hey. So, zinc alloy case is what it's made out of. They just don't make it easy to get this out of here. My part 2 is going to be talking about it after I've actually loaded files in it, played around with it, gotten used to it, and I'll be giving tips about, how to use it. I've learned a lot already from watching other videos, but there's lots more to learn. Yeah, that looks really slick. I thought there would be a piece of plastic over the screen, but I don't see anything like that. Okay, there's the cheapy SD card that they include. A lot of people say you should just throw these away because they're not high quality SD cards. Yeah, what kind do they give you anyway? Doesn't even say it's a no-name SD card. Oh, it actually has 64 gigabytes. I thought it came with a 32. Alrighty. Okay, there's that. Now let's look at the rest of the box. And we have another pouch. Oh, and there's a little bag right here too. And of course, instructions. There's the instruction manual. Not really much in there, some basic instructions, but you might need it. This is a very nice little bag. It's very soft. You might use that as well. Nice color too. So there's that, and inside of here is your cable. They said you only use this cable, but I don't see any reason why you couldn't use any other Type-C USB cable. I mean, they just want to, say use this one because we know this one works. So, anyway, there's that. So there's all the accessories that it came with. So we got instructions. We got got our cable, got our player. Really feels good. It really feels substantial. There's a glass back. It's definitely glass. Yeah, it's cool to the touch. H2 high-res audio. And there's the volume rocker. There's the this is the menu button. Let's just fire this baby on to see how much power it's got. I wonder if it'll even fire up without an SD card. Let's find out. Oh yeah. So it asks for you to do your language. So let's set defaults English. There's the file and explorer. Settings. Oh, there's settings, okay. Now that's for your equalizer settings, system settings, category, explorer. So if you push and hold this memory button, it's supposed to give you a secondary, yeah, there it is, secondary thing. That's almost got a full charge. Amazing. So yeah, you got your equalizer. I don't know if you can see any of this. Let's tilt my camera down a little bit. There, let's try that. Okay. Yeah, I should be able to see that now. So music scan, equalizer, playback mode, gain settings on low right now. I'm going to change that to high. Because I am going to try to use my AKG K701s with this. I know it probably won't work, but I'm going to try it. Replay gain, channel balance. That's just your left-right controls. Album art display on. Wallpaper display on. Lyrics display on. Gapless playback. Let's turn that to on. Go down and then hit. There we go. That's on now. Okay, and then memory playback, resume playback. Okay, power on volume, default value. And that's it. Back to music scan. Alright, so let's hit the button here again. Updating library, 0 songs updated. Okay, So let's turn it back off and then charge it up and put some music on it and do part 2 of this review. And so thanks for watching this part. Bye for now.